Yeah, you're not getting away, pirates, scum of the ocean. Of course, we're chasing pirates down to take their money, and we're actually acting as pirates. We continue just to bash everything in sight. We've had a couple small battles against an Aserai ship, a Western Empire ship, but the battles on sea have been hard to find, right? So we're going to continue to try to maximize and find out what is the easiest. Oh shit, there's a huge army. Look at this collision, right? There's a huge army right here. You can follow the tracks. I think it's one of the best parts of the game is you can sort of predict, right? There's a war party of 1,000 heading over towards that Southern Empire force.
We're simple fishermen.
So
no
we could smash these guys here. Let's see. Let's start an episode. Welcome back again, friends, to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related. We continue on with our small pirate campaign here, a part of the DLC. This is WARSAILS. We've got our WARSAILS here. We've got 2 ships. We've had as many as like 6 or 7, but of course we keep on selling all the little flotillas, these little trashy ships that we're taking from our enemy. And you can see the power bar here. We're manifestly stronger than these pirates, these corsairs that we've chased down. But I wanted to start an episode here because it does look like there might be a battle on land. I'm not going to be exclusively at sea. And I think that's not how the game is played. By the way, of course, we'll talk history. We'll talk about why that was a thing, right? It wasn't the thing that the people in the medieval era were out at sea for 4 months just taking ships left and right. There really was a strong connection and being tied to the land. And part of that, of course, was water consumption. Now we're lining up a ram effort here. At some point or other in this episode, maybe we'll continue to talk about how to use the wind, how to use your oars, how to use your troops, right? It's important to understand all this, but we've also covered that extensively, and I'm trying to think, this is going to be episode 3. We're just going to get a nice driving ram here. Excellent ram, it says. We killed a bunch of guys, and now we can do some savage boarding here of these corsairs. So we got some... okay, here, let's just kill these guys here. Naval combat is chaotic. Anybody who thinks it's going to be clean... that you're going to have all these advanced tactics. Eventually, we will develop advanced tactics, but especially these small battles, absolute chaos, right? It resembles, oh shit, this guy boarded our ship. Get off our ship. I mean, I guess it's their own ship. We're just going crazy here on their ship. And we're starting to get ahead of steam. This character's starting to get pretty decent. He's got a nice band of mates with him, right? We blasted that guy right off the ship. And the dynamics are great, right? There's no question that sea battle... is chaotic, but it's also an awful lot of fun, right? Our other ship is boarding the other corsairs. There continues to be bugs. Guys are overwhelming our channel, Reddit, elsewhere with questions. I can't do this. I'm having this problem on the console. If I do smithing, it crashes on the console, and I'm very much trying to keep up, but of course, Thanksgiving was yesterday in the United States of America. We celebrate the massacre of the Native Americans. I mean, we celebrate the feast and family and stuff like that. We come together and overeat, and then we fall asleep because our blood sugar is rocketing to the sky, and kidney dialysis and obesity are in our near future. We'll try to be a little bit more positive in this episode, but you got to tolerate my dark humor if you're coming by our channel here. Now, this is why I started an episode, or at least made the intro, and we'll do some editing. We got a collision here. I love foreseeing battles here. This guy is going to get chased, or at least like he's already running, and it's Unquid running from Unquid's party, and it looks like he got caught. 290. I can't tell what's happening here, but we want to go participate. We are going to participate in land battles as well as sea battles, and part of the reason for that is that if you don't know, in the ancient era, in the medieval era especially, ships were tied to the land. The most important thing, believe it or not, was drinking water. These guys were rowing hard. They needed a lot of water to drink here as we drop by the city to get some extra troops. And let's fight here, right? This looks like a tasty battle to participate in. Oh shit, I didn't realize that we came out of the back of the city, so we kind of ran through the city here. And I'm gonna wait, right? We're not just gonna barrel in here and be the first dipshits to die, but this is too tasty to pass up, right? We got an opportunity here to sack Unquid, to maul him here in this battle. You don't give up these kind of opportunities in Bannerlord. So again, getting back to that, just finishing that point, the sailors rowed most of the time, right? The wind wasn't always favorable, and so you're rowing, and they would row hard, right? These were manly men. This guy's captured. He can't win. What can we do here? Let's see. I mean, this guy's totally fucked. Let's see if he goes and attacks us in the city here. Sometimes you got to, in the mercenary stage, you got to pick your battles. You can't win with 100 against 600 in the open with only 100 allies here. Now, it looks like he's going by us here. I was hoping he would siege us. We're at war now with the Khazate. Shit, he's going to another castle. Let's try to beat him there. Or maybe we can sneak in. He's going to Tamnu Castle. And why are you doing this, right, in a pirate campaign? Well, what I just mentioned before. So they had to restock. They would literally go to shore every few days to get food, to get water. And so one of the ironic parts is that control of the sea required control of the land. That's something we don't really think about today. We've got these ships that can stay at sea for months. A nuclear submarine can stay underwater for months. So there's a significant change. It's different even from the 17th, 18th century, where they would make these long voyages to the Pacific. Of course, in the medieval era, they didn't even know about America for the most part, right? The Vikings, they sailed over at some point early on, but most of the people in the medieval world, they stayed near the shore, right? Your navigation was very primitive. And most importantly, I read that they needed a metric ton of water for 150 guys per day. I think that's 2,000 pounds, give or take. I'm kind of an ignorant American though, so you're free to correct me. But we're talking heaps of water. They were drinking a gallon and a half per person per day, and a gallon of water is 8-something pounds, so 10, 12 times 100. It makes sense, right? You're talking 1,000 or maybe 2,000 pounds of water. And then, of course, you're paddling all that weight. You got it in barrels and shit like that, and it's getting fetid, and mosquitoes are laying eggs in it and shit. And no wonder they had a life expectancy in the 30s and 40s. That's another thing I want to mention here, because guys hear that all the time and they scoff. What do you mean a life expectancy in the 30s or 40s? What they're referring to is the average, and often that includes infant mortality. So a 1-year-old dies. That was very, very common back then. Infants died at an astounding rate, right? It was something like 80%, 60%. So family of 10, you were lucky to get 3 or 4 kids to adulthood. And that is included in the numbers, which obviously skews it. The rule of thumb is if you made it to 30 in the medieval era, you were very likely to make it 30 more. But oftentimes they died as children. They got smallpox. They got all kinds of shit. Anyways, let's get in here. Let's break in. This is going to be a brutal siege, but you guys are here for that shit, right? You guys want to see us try difficult battles on the channel. I like this kind of shit. And my old saying is you don't win fucking amazing heroic battles unless you try them, right? So we've got kind of a ghetto army. We've got an awful lot of recruits. We're going to lose some of them breaking in here too. So this is about as suicidal as you can be in Bannerlord. We've got the AI going to in quotes help us here. So we'll see what we can do. We do know this castle layout, and everybody who's not watched the channel before, if you have trouble in siege, I think I'm showing you probably the best way to defend in siege. Of course, we're making adjustments, and I'm willing to accept improvements if people have suggestions. The first thing we're going to do is get our troops off the wall, right? We're not going to be able to have wall supremacy here. We're going to defend the courtyard, primarily the gate here, but I'm also going to look at the far right side here and see if it's tenable. Now, I heard siege and I saw a huge amount of death, so we're going to definitely explore the catapults. If we can, we're going to destroy rams, but it's pretty unlikely. This guy's got disastrous siege skills. Let's get an archer division or 2 down here and do a little hurdling here. Get down here and see what it looks like. The enemy here has way stronger troops, right? The garrison here is going to be ghetto. It's going to collapse fast. So it's going to be up to us. We do have about 60 stout troops, maybe 70. It depends on how many we lost when we broke into the city. You typically lose about 30 or 40 troops. I didn't actually see the exact numbers, so we probably have 80 or 100 on the field. I don't bring up the menu. A lot of YouTubers will bring up the menu mid-battle. From a suspense sake, oh shit, the catapult's not here. From a suspense sake, I don't like to do that. So I guess if there's a huge amount of comments, people say, I want to know how many troops are left on the battlefield, especially if you say it 3 times like that, maybe I'll consider putting it up there more often. In other words, I'll show you how many troops the enemy has left and whatnot. I don't think we can hit these guys at all here. These archers up close. We are going to be able to throw some fire catapults. Let's see if we can hit these archers first. Now it's going right over their head. So this is mercenary stage, right? There's a blind spot over there. What you can do for a blind spot is you can actually let the AI aim it for you. And I'll show you how to do that. We should be able to drill these troops here. These guys coming in. Now it's going over their head too. It looked like we killed them, but a different catapult hit them. They hit it like the same time, and I saw a flush of green, and I was all excited. The fuck out of my way, you dipshits. All right, what you want to do here to have the AI aim it is just basically, you know, hold back, let him put it in position, and then at the last minute interrupt his ass, right? Because the AI will get it pretty close to where I can't see over there at all. And look at that shit. That's cool, huh? Right? Basically, the AI aims for you. Just a nice little trick there for someone maybe who's not doing that. That's practically the purpose of the channel, besides me to get on my speed talking on a daily basis, save my wife from my overactive brain. We are going to try to give you guys continual tips, right? AI aiming your catapult. And they don't always do a great job, but sometimes they do a really good job. All right, let's move these archers the fuck out of here. These guys, I forgot to give them an assignment. And let's start throwing these fireballs, right? The enemy's down there coming up with this siege ram, and we should be able to get 4 or 5 very powerful shots. Now, even as a pirate, besides all the realism that I mentioned already, right? You got to resupply, you got to go sell loot. This is really good in a pirate campaign because you want to level all those skills that are going to help you be a pirate. Not to mention we're getting actual levels, right? We're getting, in fact, almost as soon as I said that, charisma gained a level. This is probably the singular most overpowered thing in the game. You can go to sieges. Of course, last episode, we demonstrated a siege defense. You gain tons of levels, tons of throwing skill, tons of loot, tons of everything. The cheerleaders line up your door. They're very excited for a menage a trois. Everything goes your way in a siege like this. And you're not always guaranteed to win, but even if you get captured in the early going, like you can rebuild your army in a couple, 4 weeks. And most importantly, you're going to get heaps of loot. You're going to get tons of skill points. It's very slow to level characters early in a Bannerlord campaign. Kill this guy. What are you guys doing? The militia here is not doing anything. Do I gotta do it all? This is what I meant. The AI can be relied on to fuck you over. Do something. You guys take the brunt. I'll get all the glory over here. We'll pass out concussions. This is 1970s NFL style. Just giving out concussions as well as a pitiful paycheck. And so, you know, again, just to finish that point, do a few of these in your pirate campaign. It doesn't take you very long, right? We're going to spend a maximum hour on our 2 sieges, and we're going to gain heaps of skills and levels that will speed up your campaign. I mean, unless you really want to just chase after sea raiders endlessly, fighting monotonous battles, this is a way to speed through a lot of that. And if you're a brand new player, I would recommend you don't speed through the game. But for anybody who's got a modicum of experience, you don't really want to trudge through the drudgery of getting your throwing skill from 80 to 200. So the militia here is breaking down quickly. There's no armor, right? There's one guy with armor there, and the rest of them here are being throttled. So we've got ourselves a brutal situation here. It's kind of like we have our Delta Force and a whole bunch of idiots and dipshits and civilians that are going to rout. They're getting smoked, and somehow we got to defend here. Let's sit up straight. This is going to be gnarly. All right, we've got some skirmishers. My brain is fucking spinning. We got the second division of archers. Normally I make the 2nd division skirmishers, so that's why I'm talking out loud. We're gonna have to put oh shit, the gate's already blown open. Not only that, but the defenders are fucking destroyed. All right, we got to put a square there. Even though I don't want to do that this early, you got to do it. You got to cram that gate. Let's bring infantry over here. 13, 9, 12. We don't have as many archers as I want either. 12. All right, come on, boys. We're going to be able to at least charge, and we have a lot of javelins, right? Those other infantry divisions do have a good amount of javelins. Let's get the line of sight dialed in here. We're going to have to fight like wolves. That quote, that Dune scene, let's fight like demons. Look at these infantrymen. Between the 3 of us, we can't barely kill 1 unit. We got 2 shields by accident, but we're loaded up on javelins here. The square's in place. The archers are shooting. All right, all right, all right. The power bar looks bad. And we just don't have a lot of troops here. Very little room for error, right? We've got 30 troops here, 28, 16. I think we're it now. I don't think there's any other troops coming to help us. We're power leveling our throwing skill, though. The enemy's squawking like a chicken. And, you know, this is, again, it's going to be very tight, but this is just mega power leveling. Now, how are these guys holding out on the left? I guess they're holding out. I expect the left side to get blown, or the right side, rather, to get blown open. The gate looks pretty clear. We could pick up an axe, but this guy, obviously, is not a two-handed guy. I've got enough javelins here to build a small house, right? We could just start tying these javelins together and make up the fortification of a building. I don't mind the two shields, actually, right? Because we're going to get attacked from behind, and this guy has very poor athleticism, so it's actually okay for now. Archers are shooting. Somebody's coming. Okay, let's get a better angle on them. And here they come, right? This right side did break open. Let's get infantry spread out. Shit, that is a lot, and I see a lot of gleaming gold, high-level units. Come on, men, fight! There's more coming. I got a full health bar. Shit, it wouldn't have been if I didn't block. Now, look at this. I got two shields. It's great. I can keep basically a shield behind me. That's right. You bitches want to rout. I don't think they're routing, but we'll take the breather. Let's get troops set up on this ridge. This right side is going to be the problem. Oh, shit. They just turned. Fuck. Let's put a infantry division. You know what we can do is we can put infantry in a shield wall against this wall here. We can basically put their backs to the proverbial wall. Archers on the other side. There's a few legionary in there. There's a couple peasants too. Let's get archers up on this center spot. Far side there. Let's get those infantry over here. They're pouring through the gate now. Fuck. We're getting surrounded. I'd yell for glory, but we're a mercenary, right? So, for money! We're making money every guy we kill. Kill them, boys! We're getting rich! Oh shit, there's an axe fucking swinging behind me. We're just power leveling. This guy is going to be a beast after a couple of these. Shit, I don't have the athleticism to run away. He's just slow, hence the shield on the back, right? At least they hit the shield a lot when they swing behind you. Oh shit, the gate's bursting open. It looks like a few peasants came out in reserve here, and they're getting just trucked. Fight, peasants! We can win this shit, don't give up! They're going to fucking start routing. They're getting attacked by elite units. Of course, the Aserai here have like all tier 5 and 6. What the fuck? That shield wall's barely holding out. There's like 6 guys back to the wall. Come on, man! Oh shit, he's winding his fucking executioner axe up. It's so gritty, man. The guys who are like, I don't know why you like Bannerlord. Bannerlord sucks. Well, I don't know if they've never been a battle like this, man. It's great. Our power bar's a little tiny purple sliver, and we're holding out against the world. Fight! I'm going to carry these few militia and legionnaire around with me here, and we're going to try to distract for the archers. I'm running out of steam here. They're starting to hammer our archers. Not giving up, though. Oh shit, I took a savage shot to the head. And they're not gonna, now that we're out of it, they're not gonna make it. Damn. Damn, they had like 50 troops left too. Almost. And, you know, this is a perfect example, actually. Guys like it when we lose on the channel. They're like, you know, first, a lot of YouTubers only show victories. We show, right? We show, basically, we try to show unedited gameplay. We try to speed up stuff sometimes, but we don't. When we have an ignominious failure, we don't, I mean, unless it's like my character got shot off his horse and we just exited the battle or something like that, we show our losses because, you know, sometimes you can look back on it and learn. Sometimes you guys have suggestions, but I think it's good, right? From a suspense level, you're never sure whether we're going to win battles, but also it's a good reminder, even to a player like me with, I have 750,000 hours playing Bannerlord. I have played 24 hours a day for 112 years in a row. Yeah, it's a hard game sometimes. And even though I think we did almost everything right there, we still get toted away like a bitch here by Unkwood. It's part of the game, right? So we We give up some of our precious money. Oh shit, I misclicked. Well, it doesn't really matter. Maybe we'll get a better offer. What was he offered? He wanted 17,000. We'll just roleplay. We're a greedy pirate. We'd rather, yeah, we saved 4,000, got toted around for another day. Charisma. And we're kind of fucked here. We're a long ways away from home. And they encumber you too. There's a new process. You don't lose all your shit, which is good, but you're massively encumbered after you get captured and accept your ransom. Look at all this shit. This shit would all be gone like a couple, 3 episodes before a banner lord. So I'm going to try to get a few recruits, and this is what you're worried about. Looters, you just got to hope they don't beeline us. Go, boys. All right, it's just me. Go. Oh, shit, they are coming. Let's get some troops. There's one dude here, and I think we're in trouble. A lot of people would dump all their equipment, but I'm an ornery old fuck. I wish we had another large bag of javelins. You know what we're going to do here? We're going to fight these fucking looters. They're going to see, we're going to be like running, and then all of a sudden we're going to turn. And they're going to be like, oh shit, you know, these 2 guys are turning on us here, right? We have very, very little health. I don't think we'll make it to another village. Come get some, you punk-ass looters. All right, that's not impossible. All right, let's see here. What do we do? Upgrade some of these things, and I'm trying to think. We got one guy here, right? So we're going to put him in a square. We will be the the flanking division. There's nothing to do here, right? What there is, the only thing I can do, right, thinking way outside the box, is I can kind of... It's funny to think about. I can kind of run this infantryman... well, he's a peasant. He's a recruit. I can run him sort of back and forth in front of the looters and hope that it draws off a little bit of their rocks, right? Because these guys are going to have rocks. That's going to be the big threat here. It's funny. We go from a big siege defense against palace guards, and we're still recording. I still see my little white orb. We're going to do this once in a while because this shit's fun. I did a short series a long time ago about like a one-man army where one guy faces 80 and 100, and it's really gritty and fun. There's very little tactics, right? You're one dude. It's not like you can flank and shit. But it is pretty fun every once in a while to do this shit, and they're already hitting me in the head with their brilliant, precise fucking dart throwing. Here's our dude. It's him and me against the world. Come get some bitches. They're throwing rocks at him. Let's see if we can't distract some attention. Over here, you fucking bitches, these little beggars. Damn, we're running low. 8 javelins. I think there's more looters than we have javelins. We can do a little bit of swords work, but I definitely want to try to throw as many of these javelins as I can. And of course, they're all trying to hit me too. Keep moving, dude. Move your feet. It's the new Richard Simmons workout plan. It's called Run for Your Run from your life from angry looters and hope you don't get trucked. They're hitting him in the back with they're throwing rocks at him. Bannerlord is so great, man. Come on, man. We almost got this shit. What are there? 7 left? 6, 7 left? He's dead, man. And of course, if you don't know that yet, I went and asked AI, and I said, what is the greatest fighter in the history of all medieval combat, right? I was like, is it Achilles? Is it Hector? Is it, is it one of the famous medieval knights or something that we've all heard of? And AI spit it out the answer in 0.1 seconds immediately, and it said, no, it's a looter with a pitchfork. They parry everything. Watch these little fuckers. You little bitches. And we have no health now, and we have nothing to distract these guys with. And we can't hit them because they're going to parry everything, right? Look, he parried it. Oh, sons of bitches. And I don't have any ammo. There's no javelins. So I could spend 10 minutes here and circle these guys, but I think we'll just get the pitchfork in the face here. I don't think we were going to make it past these guys anyway, so I'm not... some guys are like, why would you suicide there? It's not that important, right? In fact, we can probably just do some editing here. What do we do? Let's see if we get released. We're getting toted around by looters. This is probably not what you guys signed up for. Look at this shit. This is hilarious. There's a patrol chasing them. Well, they're all our enemies here, right? The looters are our enemies. The patrol's going to free them, right? We're out of here. We're freed after the looters. The looters got theirs, you sons of bitches. You didn't block the patrols with your pitchfork. Now, this guy might turn... Oh, fuck me. Of course, he turns on us. And a lot of guys lament this, and they say, what do you do about this? Well, you basically just get toted around like a bitch. I think Tail Worlds did this because it's good for your mentality to feel like a bitch sometimes, to just get toted around and owned by the enemy. It makes us humbler, better people sometimes to lose. Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, a lot of these guys would have done a lot better had they lost like their 5th fight and just gotten rocked. They wouldn't have been such overly cocky, pompous motherfuckers like Ricky Henderson, the baseball player. I can't hit anything, and it doesn't matter. Let's just take a spear to the face here. We'll do a little editing, and we'll be back on the water here for you, friends. Just sea raiders everywhere, but not a lot of troops. And I think this is our best bet. I mean, of course, the Vikings are... The Nords are sailing all over the place. So let's go see what they have in Nordland. Not exactly thrilled about being in the service of the Valandian scum, but that's okay. We've got kind of this dipshit boat. I would like a faster boat. We want at least 3 boats. I don't think we can carry all of our troops right now into the battlefield on just 2 boats. So, kind of looking... You know what we want to do is get a Viking longship. That would be the best case scenario. If we can get a Viking longship, I imagine they'll be fast, right? 3.0 is kind of your baseline for boats. If they're slower than 3.0, it's kind of on the slow side in the battlefield. And anything faster, I would say anything 3.0 or faster is a kind of boat you want to target for maneuvering on the ocean. It matters, right? Whether you're running away from the enemy or something else. If you're moving really slowly, it's a problem. So hopefully get some battles here against the Nord, and we'll find out if they're as fearsome as reputation has made them, right? Whether that's other YouTubers who've said they've seen some battles against the Nords where it was really hard, or just history, right? There's no question that they're all Marines, right? And we have about 1/3 of our boat is Marines, so it's gonna be interesting. The biggest difficulty I'm experiencing is the size, right? We're seeing either forces of 1,100 or 80. It's hard to find, an army of 200 where we can actually have a shipboard battle and not feel blown out. I'm going to look for some traffic lanes here, and it's great. It's a great setup for action here, right? You have Ustakel Castle and Revel are in Nord territory, and the Valandians are occupying the island again. This is the 2nd campaign I've seen where the Valandian forces under this pompous dipshit have started to invade the island. So the good news about that is we're going to be able to go acquire a Viking longboat, right? Hopefully. I think that's how it works, right? Your ports typically, even though the Valandians have the city, I'm almost certain there'll be Viking longboats there. Just like we could recruit Nord units from the city. Now this is even better, right? Because it's going to spur action. We're kind of in a Bermuda's Triangle of action. This campaign, if I'm perfectly honest, has been on the slow side, right? We have actually had a lot more land battles than ship battles, and that's why our skills are so low. And I really think Tail Worlds is probably going to want to adjust this somehow. And I have ideas that I have espoused before, but I think without some sort of trigger for more shipboard battles, it's going to be, I guess you could call it rarely WARSAILS, right? You're going to have shipboard battles, but they are going to be rare. So now 2.96, these are huge boats. We want something that can fit like 60 guys. 3.0, that's not bad. I thought some of the light long ships were faster than 3.0. 3.0, huh? 3.06, that's nice. Right, that's an option. 3.06, and there's more to life than just speed. But right now, early on, I'm looking for. Here we go, 3.18. The Gray Viper. It's got a gray name too. We will learn how important the other stuff is. I think cargo capacity is going to be something that we keep an eye on. I'm going to dump this boat here. We've got this clunky boat. Now we've got 2 killer ramming boats, and we now have a very light but fast Viking longboat. So what's the strategy, right? One of them's infantry, one of them's a mix with skirmishers, and the fast boat is archers, right? Now, I've started doing this everywhere I go. You just instantly, you buy a boat and you want to trick it out. This shit's important. Look at that. Extra throwing stacks, extra javelins, extra quivers. I presume that means 2 more arrows, 2 more crossbow bolts, right? I haven't tested that. But these upgrades are cheap, right? The boat might be 12,000 and the upgrades are 5,000. They're automatic, right? You want to do every single upgrade because if you go out there and you run out of ammo and you don't get the upgrades for your boat, it's your fault, right? So give you an idea of what we're looking at here. There's a Bermuda Triangle here of action. I think we'll see ships in here around the island. We might even see action. This guy's about to go in the water. We might see action on the Sturgeon Peninsula here, right? So this is sort of ripe for action, and I'll do my best to continue editing. I don't think I'll show you any of the rebuilding process. I narrated here and there, but a lot of the times in instances like that, I just kind of give up. My narration fades to garbage, and I'll just delete that material. We don't have a great army, but it's starting to upgrade, right? We have some of the Aserai Barii. We have a handful of the Nauta line of Imperials, but we also have about a third of our boat is trash. So we need to get some battles here and upgrade. The problem is it's very difficult to get battles at sea, like I've already said. So you almost are forced to level up your units on land and then hit the sea later. And this is going to be potential action, right? This guy's sieging here. They're not going to like that. They're going to send forces this direction too, right? And see if there's anybody here we can pick off. We're going to be highly amphibious, right? That term basically means you live on land and sea. We're definitely going to be an amphibious assault force. We're going to run on land like this and sack a village, tear it up. And I'm not doing this for the 35 gold. We're doing this to get attention. In this campaign, it's more of a trial of sea combat and, can you have an efficient pirates force early in a campaign? Well, the answer is yes, but what is there to pirate, right? So far, it's been little tiny merchant skiffs. We've been doing some chicanery, right? We're despised by the Western Empire, and we're playing this campaign. We're role-playing a little bit. That carriage maul here is a mauler, right? I don't think this campaign will continue, but it's been kind of fun to have like a pirate. He's a big, gnarly, bearded pirate just looking for targets. But we're doing, oh shit, we are doing a lot of looking. And this is what I mean, right? There's no 200. It's either starving or feast. 1400, and in Galther, buddy, you're a dead man. These Valandian forces are totally cooked. But we might be able to lurk around here. That's the king in that smaller boat. It's like he's leading the vanguard. I think we'll lurk around here and kind of observe. Obviously, we don't give a shit about the Valandian forces. We'll go pick their bones and pick their pockets after they're slain here. Just want to, we're targets of opportunity here. We're seeking mostly for shipboard combat, but this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, they weren't even on the water that long. It's hard to engage them, and I couldn't have gotten the king there without that vanguard attacking us. So let's sneak up on this little peninsula. I swear the king is attacking by himself. He doesn't even have his main army there. He is. Here comes the army up behind him. Maybe the AI was like, all right, well, I got a huge army coming. I can just attack. But by doing so, King Halthar kind of, he left himself a little bit vulnerable there. He lost like 80 or 100 troops. So we got a raging thunderstorm here as we sit on a perch and watch these Valandians. And look at all the deserters just exploded across the screen. There's a lot of shit going on here. I better be careful. Deserter, deserter, deserter. Now, the deserters are also opportunity because the AI is, it's artificial imbecility. They will readily engage these deserters right in front of you. And then, of course, you can attack them once they're done. It makes it easy to chase down the enemy. Now, we're not going to attack this huge army. But there's 3 other forces here, including the king, that, well, they got our name on them, right? We're going to write our name all over, scroll our name all over the foreheads of their dead people. And there's the king, right? He's right there, and you're caught, motherfucker. You ain't getting away. He'll probably engage us. He is engaging us, so he's got a strong force, appropriately strong force, despite the fact that he barely outnumbers us. However, the king is about to faceplant into the soft mud of Sturgia here, as our force of skirmishers, archers, crossbow. We have a ranged army because, of course, we're preparing to go to sea. I know this map pretty well. There are a lot of new maps, but a lot of the maps on the mainland, of course, are typical maps that we're you know, if you have some experience playing Bannerlord, you will recognize. And this is a deadly landscape. It wouldn't actually matter where we fought. The only way King Halthadar could win here with his force against our army is if we were all trapped in an octagon, like 8 by 12. Or an elevator. Maybe then he could stab us to death. Because he's not going to touch most of our units here. We're going to kite. We're going to fucking hammer him. We even have some Vanguard Ferris. So we can do drive-by shootings. I always figure the FBI listens. You know, I get more views when I say things like school shooting and drive-by shooting. We're going to get the optimal position here for our units to kill as many people as possible, right? They're going to try to get the biggest body count. And in all seriousness, the school shootings are particularly heinous. Fucking pieces of shit killing children. Absolutely vile. I don't believe in hell, but if there is a hell, they're going straight to it. Hopefully they get a pitchfork up the ass for fucking a million years. Shooting children, you fucking assholes. Hopefully they're lit on fire down there and some of their other horrific shit they did back then. The worst thing I ever heard is they would raise and lower like serious criminals in and out of the flames over the course of 4 or 5 days. You want to talk about sadists? The medieval period, they didn't give a fuck. They do all kinds of ruthless shit. Now, I've got basically 100 options to kill the enemy here. What we're going to do is start spreading our forces out. We're going to make it difficult for them to focus their attack, and we're going to kite them into next week. We're going to be moving units back. Over here I have cavalry, 2 divisions of cavalry, a horse archer division, and an archer division, and very irritating rocks. Got the skirmishers and infantry on the other side of that ridge. We're going to pull back to the other side of that ridge, but I might as well pound the enemy at range here at first. The Nords don't have cavalry, right? They don't have much cavalry anyways, and they don't have a lot of archers. In fact, I think I probably should have done this from the outset, but let's try to shoot them a little bit before they come in. Got 2 divisions of cav. We're recording. Fortunately, I didn't lose much, but man, I punch NVIDIA GeForce in the face. Jensen Wong, dude, if I ever meet you, dude, I'm going to slap you in the face and be like, get your NVIDIA experience software working. It says we're recording. Now I don't see the dot. Let's just focus on the battle here. So all I need is to add in 8 divisions of difficulty and then trying to juggle my fucking recording device. May have to switch here soon. And the onslaught begins, right? Fire at will, right? They do have some archers and skirmishers, but they're haplessly throwing axes up into the sky. Although I just got smoked. This guy is very lightly armored. I keep forgetting that. We have cavalry on their flank. Archers are now going to start moving into a modified crane formation. We'll pull them over this ridge, and then we're going to drag them right to where our 6th Corps is. Our 6th Corps has our best skirmishers and archers right here on the right. The enemy's going to come right over because that's where the bulk of our forces are, and they die like right where I'm standing. It's going to be just a shattering assault. 1st Division, we can pull back a bit. Might as well pull them right into the jaws. Here they come. Now I've got Javcav we can kind of circle and menace them with as well. It's really a nasty army for the open field. This is about as optimal an army as you can make for an open field battle. The horse archers are confused. You guys are stuck or something. But the enemy's being drive-by shot with Vanguard Ferris. Now they're being pounded with archers. They're walking right into the sights of the 6th Division. Fire! Right, and good night, Irene. They're just going to melt. They're literally in the kill box. And, yeah, victory. Where's Haldar? Show me your king. Take me to your leader, bitches. And 62 damage to the head. Man, my character is Glass Joe from the original Mike Tyson Punch-Out. He goes down instantly. But so did the king. His army crumpled here like a bitch. I mean, they got 14 kills. Come with us. Actually, you know what? This pirate guy here, we're not doing any come with... No come with us here, right? Off with your head. You can't treat prisoners that way. I just did. These are the kind of things you can mess around with early in a Bannerlord campaign. Don't give a shit. We got our we got our savage pirate here. Ambushes the Nord King and then executes him. All the Nord forces are going to roll up, and all they're going to find is the king spitted on a spike with his head between his knees. Just take some of that, you bitches. You have no idea who you're messing with. who else can we kill here? Let's see. Beat feet for the ship, just in case they both beeline us like that. Now, I don't think they can get on their ships. Our ship is right here, but they don't have a ship there, right? So it's like an escape hatch. And they can't take your ship. That's not very realistic, but maybe they don't want to have it be that difficult, or maybe it's hard for the AI to, it would be too difficult. They can't shipjack you. Units can walk right by your ship and they can't take it. At least I've never seen it. If you've seen a ship get shipjacked before, just sitting on a shore, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Now, I'm just going to lurk here. These guys are all dead, man. These type of situations here, it really is sort of like taking candy from a baby. We have AI units that are chasing other AI units, right? The deserters. They don't have terrific AI, so we can attack them at their most vulnerable moment. And then once we're on the battlefield, of course, we attack them with tactics, and they're just gonna, well, yeah, you know this, you know the rest of the story here. We'll still demonstrate. We'll still talk about the tactics here because there's all kinds of different situations. And I'm trying to think of the battlefield here. This village, I do not remember. She growled at me. We just killed your king. I wouldn't be too belligerent in case you're next. I don't know what just happened, but our relation just went like -50. Maybe that was, they finally got, or maybe we carried the sack with the head of the king and rolled it out in front of this gal. They didn't like it very much. We don't give a fuck. We're a pirate. I mean, that's the whole point. We're going to play the outlaw here, and maybe we'll get executed, right? The first battle we lose in this campaign, first significant battle, especially since we've been executing people, maybe we'll get executed. We lost in that castle siege like 2 hours ago, but that was a suicide mission. Almost pulled it off. Man, they had like 30 or 40 troops left. Now, all we're doing here is taking the high ground to start, right? The bottom line is that in a ranged battle, and it looks like, ironically, it's going to be a ranged battle to start, the high ground wins, right? The exception is if there's a peekaboo ridge. Well, there isn't one here, nor would we let the enemy use it on us. We're just going to rain projectiles downhill. Worse than that for them is I have a bunch of mobile cavalry units, right? So we can harass them and chuck javelins into their face just like I'm doing. Headshot for 400. This guy needs some Viagra for his javelin throws, but you know, we're switching between characters, which is always the hardest way to play Bannerlord. You play a guy with 300 javelin skills one day or 1 hour, and then an hour later you play a brand new character. He gets 2 shot by throwing axes. And they're just coming right into it. They're just stepping right into it. Here come the arrows, gonna hit them right in the face. And we're going to circle them, right? We're not content just pounding him at range. We're going to move in aggressively. We've got the 1st Division too. The 6th Division of skirmishers, we want them to blast the enemy again. I've been turning them into essentially our elite division. And let's do a cavalry circle here, right? We got horse archers and jav cav. While we're pounding them here, we're going to reenact a porn scene. We're going to pound them from the front, pound them from behind. All kinds of pointy things into every orifice. Here we go here. A 400-yard javelin shot hits. He's just standing there shooting. Imagine being the guy next to him. You're like, keep shooting, lads. Oh, guy gets killed right next to you. What hit him? I don't know. I think we're in trouble, lads. And look at the jav cav is just raining in arrows. It's beautiful. Vanguard Ferris. You can see him locked and loaded. Pound him, boys. Now we got horse archers circling them. Now they got our elite cataphract, and that's because those dipshits decide not to use their shields. Well, you pay for your stupidity in this life. And the enemy's in the meat grinder here. They're surrounded. They're all packed together tightly. Let's get this 6th and 3rd up here. We don't need to waste your time. We don't need to fight perfect battles. It's going to be successful, and I think you guys have gotten enough of the tactical gist for this situation here. The enemy is fucking dead. That's what they are. Horse archers on this flank. Charge. Right up their asses. Alright, watch the 6th Corps. Just light them up. Look at them go, boys. Just javelins flying into their packed ranks. Cavalry behind them. Let's join the fun here. We need to level up our skills a little bit more. And these are tough units. These Nord forces have a lot of, tier 3, tier 5, tier 6 Huskarls, and they're being shellacked. This guy's running. Didn't get very far. And this will be nice for upgrades too. By the time we hit the water again, we're going to have mostly tier 4 and 5. Quit killing them so effectively, man. I couldn't even get a kill here. God, they're just trouncing the enemy. And we don't execute women, right? We enslave them. Come with us. We're going to take her 131. So we're over our maximum. We're hemorrhaging a little bit of troops, but I actually prefer that. I talk about that a lot on the channel. Unless you're getting captured, unless you're getting run down by much larger forces, in other words, you're encumbered or you know, your scouting / movement skills on the campaign map are shit, I would prefer in this stage, the mercenary stage, that you ran over the maximum. You know, 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 at most. You'll slow down and get a lot of deserters if you're too far over, because those extra 5 troops in some battles are critical. And we're going to run down this dog here. And that's exactly what I meant. The deserters will intercept the troops. So it's a good opportunity for prisoners, right? You just want to hover nearby these battles. Whoever wins, we win, right? Because we're just going to, the bigger fish eats them. Come with us. This guy's captured. And you just, you know, auto-resolve this. He should have prisoners too, right? Because he just sacked that other force. This guy says a bunch of dribble. Come with us, right? Get into the prisoner. You're lucky we don't just lop your head off right here. At this stage, we're on full-on belligerent mode in this campaign. Don't give a shit. I mean, we're basically ultimate gangster. We're just sacking villages and attacking nobles, beheading the king. We roll his head down the valley. And, you know, we're kicking the proverbial hornet's nest. And at this stage, I consider it properly kicked, right? We got another target here. I think we can siege that castle just to make it even more obvious that the enemy should send forces our way. And she tried to get on this boat. Well, you can't. It's our boat, right? They can't take your boat as far as I know. There's no such thing as boat jackings unless someone has seen otherwise. If you leave your boat somewhere, the enemy cannot take it. And man, that's what happens when you auto-resolve. 40 casualties, including a lot of our good troops. That is painful. At least she had a few troops here we can salvage, but that's just a perfect encapsulation of what I say all the time. I'm not going to say it right here. Don't auto-resolve. We get back on our fleet. You know what? Let's if we siege that castle, what that'll do is it'll basically cause alarm bells all over Nordland. I think that's our best opportunity to get some action. I want ship battles, right? And in order to get ship battles, you kind of have to have forces heading this direction. I think this is probably the best thing to do, and it remains a concern of mine that ship battles are going to be rare enough that guys are actually disappointed by that. You know, we shouldn't basically have to do what I'm doing right now to get ship battles, but nevertheless, that is the case. We're trying to get a couple good battles. We've only really had about 5 or 6 battles for this campaign where we're playing as pirates and specifically looking for ship battles. Now, we could have chased sea raiders around the whole time, but that's not very fun outside of people named like Raymond, right? Unless you're... Motherfuckers are escaping. Yeah. We don't tolerate escaping prisoners. For everyone that escapes, one of them will allow their head to escape here. And we roll their head down. That execution has hurt your relations. We don't give a fuck, right? Just here's our response to that. More executions, right? We're going to play gangster the rest of this campaign. Whatever it takes for us to get a big ocean battle, that's what we're going to do here. Our reputation is suffering, yada yada, mining some bullshit. We don't give a fuck. Let's go back to the ocean here, and hopefully we can find some good battles here. Even just 150. I would take 150 at this stage, right? We can probably win 150 in the open ocean. Although it remains to be seen, like I said, how powerful are the Nords, right, in the ocean? I guess that's partly what I'm trying to test here. So there's carnage in the south, Valandian forces. That raiding there should definitely, you know, the hornets should be buzzing, right? The bald-faced hornets that we have here in North America. Man, are they nasty. They're very similar, actually, to this character, right? They're ornery. They will sting you a long ways away from their nest. They make a huge, bigger than a football-sized paper nest and sting the shit out of you. And I guess let's go comb the waters here and find some victims. Dirther's down here sacking people with his army. Let's find somebody to kill in this big ocean. Now they're just out here and it's a big ocean. So, you know, wander for 3 days now, but there is a rhythm to the madness, and I'm starting to pick up little things. My wife is actually a kayak outdoor adventure guide. She reads the waves, and she's been teaching me over the years. And there's colors, and I mean, it probably has nothing to do with Bannerlord, but these look like passages. So wherever this guy's going, right? Take me to your leader. Where you going, little fella? Oh shit! Here we go. Hello. Well. Man, that's a tall order. 293, and there's another boat. The other boat should not engage. They're probably like out of scouting distance. We've got our 3 boats. We can recruit some prisoners here, some sea raiders, how appropriate, and 1 sturgeon peasant, just in case that's the difference here. And you know what? You guys are here for action, right? They got tons of archers. It's actually a well-specced out Nord boat. They're going to have the advantages of the Nords. Let's do this shit, right? You guys have been probably fiending for some action if you've watched to this stage. Let's do a proper naval battle here, right? This looks like, I don't know, he's just a Jarl, but he has 300 troops. It's pretty impressive. We've got our javelin, though, right? We've got Karishmal here, the villain Karishmal with his fledgling pirate empire, and let's do this shit. I gotta tell you, I'm fucking nervous. Sea battles feel a lot more consequential because they're a lot more rare. So let's see. We should have 3 boats. So 1 infantry, 1 mixed, and 1 archer division. And hopefully we can distract, right? We'll see what kind of boats they have. Can't really tell. They're a long ways away. Where are our boats? And let's see. Oh, we got to add this boat. Okay, so then we got our 3 boats. So archer boat following the main vanguard. We'll put our best troops on our boat, of course. The second boat, I just want it to be infantry, and it looks like the wind's blowing right to left. So that'll help, right? It's going to basically blow us. Hopefully we can do a nice ram. If we could sink one of their boats early on, that'll certainly help. There's some decent infantry on that boat, but I'm thinking we're going to use this boat to distract, to run past them, to divert, right? We've already talked about naval tactics on the channel. We're going to develop pretty sophisticated ones. Early on here, it's going to be about diversion, right? We've got the wind, so let's drop the sails right away. The 3rd division can follow me, the third boat, and the 1st ship off into the sea there, right? I just want it sort of waving a magic trick in front of the enemy. We've got the wind, but I want to turn right here into the sun, so I'm picking up steam, and now we're going to turn our boat hard. I'm hoping to catch the wind back and ram the shit out of their boats. It looks like there's just 2 boats. I don't know why that is. Maybe they got a bunch of crews below deck. It's hard to know. Naval battles are quirky. In fact, if you look at the power bar, it kind of seems like we're favored. I don't know. It's the Nords, though, right? So you don't go into these lightly. That second boat does seem like it has the attention of the bigger enemy boat. So let's turn back in here. Let's spear the shit out of this smaller Nord boat. There we go, boys. The wind hits our sails. And closing in, right? Let's cross their T's, right? Making Admiral Nelson proud. Unfortunately, the little Viking smaller boat is turning towards us, and they're shooting me at 200 yards. These sons of bitches. Drill them. Damn, they move fast. Viking boats are mobile, and they're boarding. All right, let's pull the 3rd boat to us. The other boat's pulling the other guy away. Let's kill this boat quickly. We got 1 boat all to ourselves. We got probably a minute or 2 before the other boat turns on us. Give them hell, boys. The 3rd division, the archer boat's coming behind them here. That's certainly going to help. They should feel some arrows on their back pretty soon. And man, I'm throwing it right at the cursor, and I'm missing. And I think that's the lack of a mariner penalty, right? There are serious penalties. We've already fought a few battles, and it's incredible. Look at, he's being chased. It's incredible how slowly you move and how slowly your weapon swings. I think that other boat's in trouble. We can't worry about them though, right? Let's handle this boat here. I'll let the lads work. The bigger boat is the real concern, right? This boat's all but mended up, and let's hope they can make it. And it looks like they got caught. Well, it's a pawn sacrifice, right? We're sacrificing a pawn for a bishop, and I think that's still probably optimal, right? We get our guys back on board. Get on board, fellas. I don't know how to make them. They don't seem to be getting back on our boat. It's disconcerting. I might be missing commands here. Let's pull this archer boat back. They're just going to get killed at this stage. The other boat is fighting. At least they're doing some damage, and I got some worthless sailors here. I don't know all the commands yet. We're still learning this shit. There must be some kind of command to tell your guys to cut loose. Or maybe you could... I got back on the helm, and it didn't cause anything. So my anxiety is rising here as I watch our foes, or our forces get killed. Our companions on the other boat are getting massacred. All right, well, they did a little bit of damage. That boat is at least injured. All right, so let's see. We've got this boat we're kind of snarled on. In fact, that little boat... Don't hit them, boys. We don't... Fuck's sakes. The sounds are great. Just... All right, let's try to use this big boat. A little bit as a shield here. I'm going to paddle into the wind. This is always a good rule of thumb. You aspiring naval gurus... When you're not in combat, that's when you want to get upwind, right? So we're fighting the wind right now because I want to have the wind gauge and potentially any kind of advantages that we glean from that. Maybe even ram the enemy. You can't sink a big boat like that, but maybe we could kill a bunch of their units and put them at a bad spot. So I'm putting that other ship between us, right? You see the dead ship there? That's the other Navy, that other Viking ship. Maybe we can use that as a bit of a shield. Do a full 360 here. We'll have the wind. And then kill the enemy? Like I'm sort of lacking inspiration beyond that. Now we can have the archer boat come to the other side of the enemy. We can flank the enemy. And they're gonna like hit their own boat here if they're not careful. Damn, I almost got them to hit their own boat. At the last second, the AI adjusted pretty well. Those fucking Viking boats are mobile. And we're just gonna have a clash here. Holy shit, they're like leaping in the air. All right, well, let's have them follow us here, right? We can drill them with javelins as they close. The archer boat can get behind them, and at least then we'll have savage flanking fire. We're running low on ammo here. What do we got? There's no way to pick up more. At this stage, oh shit. Okay, they're coming up. Engage. The archer boat is on the other side, I think. Holy shit, they got like lifted out of the water onto our boat. And here we go. Holy shit, they rocked our whole boat like almost upside down. Man, the effects are gnarly. All right, let's drill some archers here. They got tons of archers on the decks. Our archer boat should be able to shoot, but I don't think they can see right now. You see how their boat is tilted from all the... Oh, never mind. They're right here. Somehow you guys snuck in on our back. It's in a good spot. They're broadsiding the enemy on the bridge. Lock them up. Oh, shit. I saw that shot coming. There goes half my health. All right, let's be wise here. Stay down. That looks good there. The archers are in a great spot. The enemy can't really get to them. He's like trying to reach over there. Let's get the back flank here. We've got some troops on this backside. Let's make a swing around the enemy's right. We're winning this side. Come on, push in. They got a lord there and a tough unit. Damn it. Down you go, and look how slow I swing. I feel slow motion with every swing. We got their lord, though, and we got this shit. We made it look easy. Is that it? It's time to teabag some people here, right? All the young guys. Where's their lord, in fact? I swear their lord went down. We'll do some sexual... Charismal is the kind of guy who would do this, right? The enemy lord is down right here. First, we're going to sexually desecrate. The executions come... you young kids. The executions come later. For the record, any adults watching, any parents, I don't condone that. That shit's horrific. But victory, right? We condone that, and that's sweet. We unlocked. So this is one of those things that you slap on the front of your boat. Now, for all that, I think this is going to be the last episode of this campaign. Part of the reason? There have been updates. Since I started playing this guy gets executed. People say I laugh like a madman. You would not want to see me at the head of a Viking army. There would be all kinds of debauch and horrific atrocities. Fear is the only weapon they knew back then. There have been updates since I started playing this campaign, and the campaigns are not forward translatable. So unfortunately, this campaign is going to have to end. A nice little preview, though. Hopefully it's helped a lot of players learn how to build up the resources necessary to make a fleet, learn a little bit about ships, learn a little bit about moving your ships, navigating around. Maybe we got one more battle here. We'll sneak in one more battle here if this guy turns or we catch him. The execution has hurt your relations. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let's send a letter. We'll send a letter to the delegation of those kingdoms whose feelings we hurt. Is my scribe ready? Would you take this down, please? You got your ink pen? Here, write this to the kingdoms that we offended with the execution. We don't give a fuck, right? Charismal. We're the legend of Charismal, the savage pirate here, is going to end today. So we're going to wrap this episode up. There's new versions of Bannerlord to play, improvements for the Nords, presumably improvements generally speaking. So this has been fun, this little 3 or maybe it'll be a 4-part series, this pirate run here. Hopefully, again, showing you guys the early stage, how to develop the resources necessary to make yourself a little pirate fleet. It's been a lot of fun, although admittedly most of the fighting was on the land. I think that's going to be a feature. But we'll have plenty more guides and playthroughs in the future of this great DLC. If you want to see more, now's the time to subscribe. Hit that like and hype button on the way out if you don't mind. And I will see you friends next time.